Hello, welcome back. This is a video about some symptoms that I struggle with. It is not a former BPD video that I want to do maybe in the future, but I just think some things here I would like to talk about. Um, I wonder if any of you deal with like time gaps in your mind. Like you live your life, and sometimes people talk about your life, and you're like, are you talking about me or are you talking about somebody else? Because I do not remember that, or you want to go back and leave those moments because you do not remember that. I think it's normal with adverse child, um, events, like trauma and all that. If you have been gone through abuse, you're obviously your mind is going to block these timelines in your mind, or yeah, to protect protect you, and that is normal. But sometimes you end up like missing, you know, times in your childhood that you feel like you just not sure where they went. Like I think my mother told me that when I was a kid, I was only playing with myself. I never played with other kids. I was very like alone. But so after I was raped at age 8, my bad. Um, I think like everything changed. Like I was like sex was something that like I was more drawn to at age 8. Yeah, I don't think I would have like thought about that until like maybe age 12 or something, or 11 at least, but not 8. Um, let's see. I don't want to be like all over the place, but so yeah, I think my strong side, I always wanted to like take over. I always told me that I was weak, that I wanted to like that I should die, I should not be alive, and that that side I always wanted to take over. And I always felt like some type of like unity, like my lack of identity, I felt like so empty inside. And when nighttime came, this is not like I was like, oh, I can't wait for nighttime. No. But like I remember that like when nighttime came, like I was a different persona, or at least a different part side of me took this, control of my life and say, you're this, you're that, you shouldn't be alive, people hate you, whatever. you know it's normal that people bully you because you're disgusting, you're weak, all that. And then this side of me was like the normal side was like, feeling like the pain, emotional pain. Oh, I also want to talk about that when I used to do all that, it was like a routine that I did. Like I also self-harm, and the way I self-harm was like I hit myself on my head, like like self-inflict. And the way I did that was because I could not do like other people with BPD, have done, at least in the United States. They cut, and I don't think I ever got into that because, well, first of all, I didn't have a knife. I didn't feel like could do that. Um, I also could not do that because of the fact that I was born in Costa Rica, and I'm from Costa Rica. So I lived in Costa Rica till I was 13 years old, and went to the United States after that. So, in my childhood and my young years of teenage years, I couldn't cut myself in a rainforest weather. It's about 67 to 75 degrees weather inland. In some parts of the coast are much warmer. They're like, in the 90s and stuff. But you it's hard for somebody to, cut themselves without showing all their cuts, right? So yeah, I used to like hit myself all the time. Like I don't even know how I still think, how I'm able to like rationalize and write, make videos and all that. I don't even know how I'm still able to make decisions from the all the years I self harm. Um, it wasn't just like, oh, I want to like hit myself. No, it was like full on rage against myself. Um, and I think some of the times that I did that was at night, was in the routine that I did because I wanted to take over my weak side and just make it feel worthless. And I felt like in unity because I didn't feel so alone when I felt that. Like I wanted to like I embrace it somehow. I embrace that, and I think it was hard for me to let go. I did that for so many years, even like while dating. I did that while dating. Obviously, not in intimate moments because seriously, who is going to be in the right mind to date somebody who's going to be self-harming and self-loathing while they're intimate? That wouldn't make sense, right? I think I should have drank some water before I did this video. Also, I deal with a lot of body dysmorphia. This is probably why I still have, have such a long beard, or I want to have a longer beard, not video, but longer beard, because of the fact that I don't really care about myself, or my the way I look, because I don't have any to look myself like a certain way for anybody. I don't have to show anybody whatever. That's just another topic. Um, so yeah, just like I dealt with a lot of that could have been dissociation. I don't really know if that's what it was, but it felt like some type of comfort, being able to interact with myself in a negative way and have my weak side, uh, or my normal side, cry and feel emotional after the fact of being self-harming. Um, like that felt like a part of me. And like I say, I started that in my early childhood, not early, but after 8, and also in my teen years, especially. Um, that's when I like used to like black out completely and not know exactly what I was doing. Um, I never harmed anybody. I never physically harm or never sexually harm anybody, but I think I was like completely gone in some sometimes in my life. This is not like oh, I must say these things to get off these things off my chest. This is not psychology. I am not talking to my psychologist about this. This is just me trying to make sense of things. Um, let's see. The self harming started early and went on, I think, for like 35, 38 years. Probably 38 years. Yeah. Yeah, I'm old. Yeah. Anyhow, and I have this thing in me that I always want to like hide my age because I feel embarrassed about the way I am, the way I interact, because I act much more younger than most people my age, and I have a hard time with that. I also deal with imposter syndrome. I always feel like I'm an imposter. Um, let's see. the time gaps, the self-loathing, the self-harming. What else I wanted to say? Yeah. So, have you ever had any type of blackouts to the point that you completely do not know who you are becoming, because you're dissociating to the point that you take a different persona? Like maybe for me, I used to take my impulsivity side and also my angry side or my controlling side, manipulate myself at night, and it made me feel good, gaslighting myself, and being passive aggressive to myself and all that. I think that in a sense it made me have a lot of interpersonal problems because I was having intrapersonal uh, issues with myself. So that's how that always comes out in relationships. Like being passive aggressive, being manipulative, controlling, being avoidant, or being clingy. Yeah, just if you have BPD, well, obviously you're not gonna know if you have BPD unless you get diagnosed. But if you deal with life in a certain way to the point that you know there's something wrong with you, if you know that there's a lot of things that are don't you do not understand, if you excuse me, if you do not know why you feeling this way, why you deal with depression, why you deal like with suicidal thoughts, why you feel like you threaten people to do things to yourself, that you're gonna do things to yourself, and you don't know why you do these things. You probably should talk to, not probably, but you should talk to a therapist about this. um, they'll if they're not able if they're not able to diagnose you, they'll guide you to somebody who will. Also, they will guide you to a psychiatrist who is able to give you some medications for the things that you struggle with. Any type of depression medication, or if you can't take any depression medication, they'll know, and they'll give you some antipsychotics, or any type of medication for sleep deprivation, and that. But what I want to say, that psychotherapy or talk therapy is really, really, really good. If you don't have therapy and you don't get treated for BPD, you're going to live life a living hell. You're not going to be able to know exactly what's going on with your life. You're gonna be like lost. Yeah, like lost in translation, not the movie, but really like you're going to a country, like me going to Japan. I would not be able to know, what people are saying, just with me having like 20 words in my vocabulary of Japanese. That's not enough. That's being lost in translation. You are lost in your mind. You're lost in translation. You do not know what's going on with you. Yeah, being in therapy is the only way that you can deal with like life, and being able to know exactly what is going on with you, and being able to guide it the right direction. Because I just I don't think I never got myself in therapy like completely, like 100%. Like, I wish I had continued therapy when I was 20. I think by age 20, when I got myself in therapy, was because of the things that I already deal with and struggle with, and got myself in trouble with, because of my impulses, my anger, my dissociation and or blackouts or whatever you call it, uh, my lack of identity, my hypersexuality, all that. I think that that's why that's one of the reasons why I got myself in therapy. I think it wasn't like voluntarily. I think it was like more like my parents, they pushed me to get into therapy. But I stopped going to therapy because of the fact that a psychologist mentioned BPD at age 20. And at that time, you know, that was such a long time ago that I felt like I wish I would have continued. I stopped because I thought they were talking about DID, dissociative identity disorder. I thought they were saying that I had multiple personality disorder, but in reality, I didn't know anything about BPD. You know, time have gone past. I had intrapersonal. Okay, interpersonal it's inside, interpersonal it's outside. You know, like relationships and stuff. So I had interpersonal relationship problems with other people, um, but I did not know why. You know, in the last two relationships, I had the worst because my marriage it went obsolete or it died because of my avoidance. I wasn't avoiding in the beginning, but I was avoiding in the end, like towards the end. I think it had to do a lot of the fact that I wasn't ready to be married. I wasn't ready to act like a married man. All I wanted to do is once continue going out with my friends, drinking, getting drunk. That was my thing. I had a lot of guilt from that. Coming home drunk. I don't think any wife would appreciate that from a husband to coming home at 5 in the morning and not being responsible. Sometimes even going to work, you know, sleep deprived, and being like you know uh, having a hangover, being irritable. I think she had a lot of patience. My mother says that she's one of the persons that love me the most. I apologize for the camera. It's a crappy camera. I don't have anything else right now. I don't even have a tripod. I'm using a tub, and the camera. I don't think I can do anything to the video edit. What I can do is just put images and videos on it, so it's not so distracting. It just keeps, changing. Like if it was like dark and light, dark and light. It's annoying. I apologize. Um, so yeah, I think she had a lot of patience. She struggled with a lot of things. I wish I had like being a different person. I wish I had been in therapy way before I met her, because things would have been different. I remember one time when I was 28. I think I was 28. She asked me if I wanted to have kids. She obviously wanted a family with me, but at the time I was too immature, and I was just like, um, I didn't want to hurt her, but I said no. I wasn't ready for commitment. It's hard. How can you not be ready for commitment and you're married, right? Anyhow, this video is getting a little long, but second relationship I had was different. I think from being um, I think I had a lot of fear of abandonment from my wife leaving me. So I think I struggled with that. It took me 5 years to get over. supposedly get over, right? I never got over. Um, just like I never got over my self harming, my self loathing, my angry, self destructive, disruptive, controlling side, controlling personality, whatever. I never got over that. It's hard for me to let go of that. It's like part of me, even though I don't self harm anymore. Thankfully, uh, through therapy, it's helped me to stop self harming. I also have not had any blackouts because I did had blackouts in my late teens. I also had blackouts in my 20s, and I had blackouts in my late 30s, and also in my early 40s. Um, the last blackout I had was at work. Was due to being paranoid about somebody. Like it's something stupid. Like I thought I was like I got myself in trouble for something that this girl said, and I thought she went to the manager, and it was a misunderstanding. But I started freaking out and started like um, I started self harming at work that day. I mean, I used to do it, but I started like hitting myself really bad to the point that I started like crying and getting like anxious. I think I got self harming, self loathing, all that those emotions. I started getting a panic attack, and to make things worse, like under the shelf at Home Depot, um, there was like this under the shelf that on the other side there was like a blade sticking out, and I don't know, just like I was just so angry, and then like I hit myself on the I kept hitting myself like I like my arm, just like I wanted to like hit something, and then I just like hit myself like once or twice, and that blade cut me like my hand. You can't see it, but yeah, I got like a deep cut, and I wasn't like not even realizing when I started like bleeding all over the place, and like it was not like a deep, like a like cutting your arm or anything, but like it was a deep, some type of deep incision or whatever. For being at work, it's crazy, right? So I started like I realized it, and then like I went to the office, and like my supervisor's like, what the hell is wrong with you? Can you stop like bleeding all over the place? And I'm like, yeah, well, I didn't know. Like he gave me some band-aids or some type of wraps, and my supervisor, my other manager, one of the managers came in, and she said, "What's wrong? I heard you got hurt in the job," and you know, try to explain, but I wasn't sure how to explain it because I think I had like a dissociative moment there when I did all that, and all I know is that my manager looked at me funny, and she said, "What is wrong with your head? Why are you bleeding on your head, and you have bumps all over?" And I didn't know what to answer to that. And I'm talking about self harming. When I used to do self harming work, I took the blade. It was something like this. This is a toothbrush holder, but okay. So the blade that I used to use is like a metal type of blade. The container for the blade. I never used the blade, but I used a container and hit myself at work when I wanted to like numb my head, numb my feelings, numb my emotions, because I wanted to like stop the way I was going through. I just couldn't do anymore. I couldn't deal with my guilt. I couldn't deal with my shame of being in the toxic relationship that ended up bad. My last relationship. Oh yeah, I never got to talk about that. I'll talk. I'll say that in a minute. Anyways, like I did that, well, even without even thinking about it. I used to do it like I was working at night, and so I used to do it like when no one was around, and when people were already like the night shift, the afternoon shift were gone already. So I used to do that like out of impulse. I also started cutting myself like at work with a blade. I know it's very crazy. I also thought like a ways of not sure if I didn't say anything about this because I don't want to get my video I mean what is it called restricted or anything. But I was finding ways to planning, and I think you know what I'm talking about because I tried. There was an attempt that I did on the 29th of April of 2019, and that never happened because I was too scared to do it, and also because of somebody who was involved in the attempt and saved me from my own tribulations, or at least from acting out on it. The So yeah, I was like planning, you know, I was planning, and this was gonna be a second attempt, but I had to buy like different things at work. A hardware store, you can find all kinds of things, and excuse me. Anyhow, so yeah, she she just said that I needed to talk to my other manager, and this is why they gave me like a leave of absence at work, because they saw that I was like not coping. I was uh, I was going through a lot of things in my mind from the toxic relationship I've been. The relationship that ended it. It started in 2014 and ended in 2019 March. Funny thing, the first relationship, not the first one, but the previous one, the marriage, um, it ended in March of 2009, and so this one ended at the same time, like 10 years apart, almost. Anyhow, I was clingy. I was emotional, anxious attachment, and that I made her live in hell because I was undiagnosed and I was untreated, and I was being passive aggressive. I was being aggressive. I was being irritable. Um, she did not know what to expect or what person she was gonna come home to. It was if I was gonna be loving and caring, or if I was going to like act out and say things to her like, "Oh, you're late because you probably were cheating on me," or something like that. Because I felt like, excuse me for the noises. I get like antsy and have to grab things to play with. Um, so you know how she she suffered through a lot, just like my wife. So yeah, if you deal with a lot of things in life, if you have interpersonal relationship problems, if you deal with depression, if you deal with suicidal thoughts, if you deal with self-harming and self-loathing, you need to get yourself in therapy. Please seek therapy. Okay? Thank you very much for watching. I think I wanted to say more, but I think it's a little getting too long. I never made a video this long. And I don't even know how I'm gonna make this video because it's gonna take a while for me to edit it, because it's not gonna just be this, because it's gonna be boring if it's just me talking, right? Anyhow, thanks for watching. Have a good day. Bye bye.